Where y'all been? It's Unique and I am back with another video. So today I want us to come on and just give you guys a little bit of information as well as some insight as to what it's like going to your first therapy session. Recently this week I did go and attend therapy at a local clinic here in my area, and I just wanted to share with you guys my experience about going to therapy. I know that there is a negative stigma, especially in the Black community, as it relates to going to see therapists, counselors, psychiatrists, etc. But I do know that it is very important that we break those negative stigmas about taking care of our mental health, because it's essentially putting a damper on our community and how our community is thriving as a people. I feel that there is a need for more conversations about mental health, and that is the reason why I'm coming on here today to share my experience with you guys, just to let y'all know that it's really not taboo. A lot more people are seeking out mental health help than you think. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm not sure what questions y'all might have, but I'm just going to think of all of the things that I thought of prior to me going to therapy. Now, I do have to make a disclaimer. This is not my first time attending therapy ever, but this is going to be tips for people who are considering going to therapy and not sure exactly what to expect. So, my first time going to see a therapist or counselor was back when I was in college. I would say maybe around 2014, 2015-ish. So I have this thing where I have crying spells. My crying spells, they stem from me kind of holding back my feelings a lot growing up. And so I tend to express myself through tears. Now, I may not be sad. My tears come randomly just because, but they also come out of frustration. They could also come out of confusion if I feel like I'm misunderstood. So just to give you guys a background, well, when I was in college, one day I was on campus and I was just walking around and I had a crying spell. Now, if y'all are walking to class, going to and fro, going to the cab, going to your meetings or whatever, and you just see a girl who is just walking around but crying, tears in her eyes, walking around normally like everybody else, but like just crying, that will put you off, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna keep real. I passed a lot of people. Nobody stopped. And that is a lesson in itself. If you guys see someone who needs help, if you guys see that there, stop to help. You could save somebody's life. Now, I never was a person who was suicidal or ever had suicidal thoughts, but in some cases, some people are like that and they are essentially crying for help. So if you see someone in a condition like that, you want to go and help them. I think that's where our community fails at. We typically push things under the rug, or we don't address, or we say that's not my business, that's their business, or that's their problem, or I'm not going to get into the middle of that, that's not my problem. I don't know what you believe, but if you are a person who operates out of love, yeah, everybody's problem is your problem, because that person could be your future child's teacher. One person's problem, it is our problem. So stop to help if y'all see somebody who needs help, okay? So that happened. She introduced me to counseling at that point, took me over to the center where we had those type of resources on campus, and that's how I ended up going to counseling. A lot of things happened in my life during that time that I have and I have not told you guys about, but just know that counseling came in right in the nick of time for me during those moments. A lot of the things that I had been dealing with prior to me going, and then a lot of things happened to me after I end up getting there. Fast forward to present day, I sought out to go to counseling again because, as you guys know, my blood pressure has been elevated. So due to the fact that I don't believe that my blood pressure is elevated because of food or lifestyle choices, which most people attribute hypertension to, or being fat or being old, being that my hypertension isn't attributed to things like that, I believe that it's something deeper. And if you guys want to know a little more about what I mean by that, you can check the description box down below, and I will give you guys some resources to kind of connect the dots if y'all have a little misunderstanding as to why I believe that my hypertension is the way that it is. In me searching for alternative routes outside of over-the-counter prescription medication to treat my high blood pressure, I went to seek out mental health services. So basically, here's what you expect. So there are different ways that you can get a counselor. You can get a counselor online, or you can see someone in person. Having a counselor online, it offers you the convenience to be able to set up a schedule with them. You can chat with somebody and everything like that. They even have webcam options available. You guys can check the description box below for resources like that. But I am a little more organic. Yes, I have a YouTube channel, but I would prefer to see my counselor in person. So the clinic that I go to in my area, they do offer mental health services. So basically what you have to do first is get a referral from your primary care physician. You speak to your primary care physician, you let them know that you are interested in receiving some mental health services. They're going to ask you things like, do you feel that you want to harm yourself? Do you feel that you want to harm others, whether that's a child or an elder? And you'll answer those questions. They may ask you, do you feel symptoms as it relates to anxiety or depression? And they may ask you, is it one particular occurrence that led you to believe that you want to seek mental help? For me, it's the things that I have, as well as a lot of things that I have not mentioned on my channel that I told the primary care physician that I needed to sort through. And I also am looking for alternative methods to be able to lower my hypertension, because I believe that my hypertension is not due to my dietary or lifestyle choices. I believe that it's much deeper than that. Once you get the referral, they may refer you to a therapist, or you can go and pick one yourself. If you guys do have insurance, there should be something on your online portal where you can go and do a search for different doctors in your area who do provide mental health services. So I would say the turnaround time for me to get to see someone was about within a week span. When I called the mental health clinic and let them know that I had a referral, they got me in within a week's time. So on the first day, you do a mental health intake. You'll do paperwork on this day, so that's confidentiality agreements. It also goes over your rights as a patient. They give you resources that are available to you. So if you go to a mental health clinic or doctor who isn't 24 hours or available 24 hours, there will be a hotline in a sense that you can call if you feel that there is need for intervention. When the office is closed, they'll give you also contact information for your counselor so that you can communicate with them. And I think they have, in most cases, a 48-hour time frame as to when you can speak. Once you fill out the paperwork, do all of the legal stuff, then y'all get into the nitty-gritty, okay? And it's not as scary as you think. I would say go in there with an open mind. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid for. These people, they are licensed to do what they are do. They are professionals, and I'm telling you, your problems are probably the least of the things that they have heard, okay? So even if you go in there and you don't have anything that you want to talk about, they'll have papers there with open-ended questions that you guys can elaborate on. And trust me, once you start talking about the open-ended questions with the counselor, you will realize that you actually do have a lot to talk about, but you just have to come in there with the open mind. They ask you questions about how you choose to identify, so whether you are male, female, what pronouns you would like to use, she, he, her, they, them, etc. They also ask for how you identify as it relates to race. Then they'll ask for your family history. They want to know what your support system looks like, and if you do have any support. So your family structure, you'll begin to talk about your family structure. Also your previous medical history or psychiatric history. They'll ask about your previous psychiatric history. So have you ever been enlisted into a psychiatric hospital, or have you ever attempted to harm yourself or harm others? Do you feel like you want to harm yourself or harm others now? These are just prerequisites, you guys, that they go over, and it's kind of like they have to ask because it's important for them to know and make a note of this. From my experience, that it was definitely a little enlightening for me. Now, I know that all therapy sessions are not going to be easy, but I can say that personally for me, my very first one, it helped me to talk about a few things. It helped me to get some things off of my chest, and as well as it felt good to actually have someone to listen to me. Now, I do have a great support system in my life, and they all offer many things as it relates to encouragement, compassion, and guidance, but I do know that there are people out there who don't have a support system. So if you feel like you're one of those people who don't have a support system and this video is resonating with you in a little bit, or you have a little inkling in your mind like, oh, I'm thinking about therapy but I don't know, I would say rid yourself of the limiting beliefs. And if you do feel led, you can always reach out to me. My contact information is in the description box below, and ask me questions. And you can ask your questions in the comment section. This is a safe space that there's probably people out there who can help you and guide you along the way, including myself, as to how you can move forward with going to see someone for your mental health. Don't take your mental health for granted. We can eat all of the amazing foods in the world, we can exercise and everything like that, but if we do not address the issues that's deep down in our hearts and our souls and our spirits, we will still be very sick and unhealthy. So do yourself a favor. If you feel like you're at a point where you want to go and see somebody, or you even have just a slight idea that maybe that's something that you can benefit from, I would say go for it and do it. The resources are there. They are available to you. Don't let your financial status or any limiting beliefs make you feel like the resources are not available to you. There is a way for you to get help. You just gotta find it. So yeah, guys, I hope that this provided some insight for you. I wish that videos like this were made back when I was going through a lot and I needed to talk to somebody, but I wasn't even seeking out the resources. So the fact that you made it to this point, it says a lot about how much you care about yourself, your well-being, and your mental health. So yeah, if there's something as it relates to going to a mental health clinic or seeing a therapist or counselor that I may have missed in this video, you can leave your questions down in the comment section, and I'll be on the lookout for any questions that you guys may have. But that was just a little bit of background as to why I sought out to go to therapy again, as well as what my first experience was like with the counselor. So after the intake, being that the clinic that I go to gets full pretty fast, they said that their turnaround time for another appointment may be 3 weeks. However, it can be faster than that with cancellations of appointments and reschedules. It's going to take a little time because like I said, there's more people out there that need the services than you think. But it may take a little more time, but you're going to be okay. You are all right. You will get through this, and you are going to make it, okay? You'll be fine. If I can make it through all of my craziness that's going on with me, you can too, okay? I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you feel led, like this video, and leave a comment in the comment section any questions that you have for me, or to share your own personal experiences going to a mental health clinic and seeing therapists and counselors or psychiatrists. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.